Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to have you here. Welcome to the Ecchi and Chill podcast. I am your host, Suneater Evan, leader of the best anime podcast to hit the internet, the best pod you've probably never heard of. Don't Google that. Don't press me about it. Let's get straight to the pod. There's something on my mind, and I want to talk about it because, internal monologue, thoughts never leave my head, and I just be rambling to myself in the car. So the first thing I want to talk about is fan service. And I know it's touchy. So I'm gonna be nice with this one. I want to talk about fan service. Since when do people talk about fan service like it's so bad? I'm curious. Like, I understand there's a bunch of fan service that's distracting, In some shows, fan service can be distracting. Like if you're a urgent or like a pretty dark and heavy show, fan service can lighten the mood, I guess, but sometimes it's distracting. Shouts out to Fire Force, because Fire Force has some of the most annoying fan service scenes. But don't worry, we'll get to Fire Force later. I'm not going to get too deep into Fire Force yet. It comes later. But since when were we all just squeamish about seeing a 2D girl looking revealing at a beach episode? When did this happen? I've never seen so many people hate on fan service like this. Like, prime example. I'm on TikTok, as I usually am. Follow me, Suneater Evan. Some guy was saying, I like Food Wars, but the fan service is distracting. It takes away from the plot. What are you talking about? In Food Wars, the fan service is the plot. I'm sorry, were you engaged in these high-stakes cooking battles? No, you weren't. Is Food Wars repetitive? Yes, because the moment you see an attractive girl on screen, you know she's going to eat some good food. She's going to have a foodgasm. She's going to strip. You can get mad at it for that, because I knew it was going to happen anytime I saw a cute girl on screen. But you're not going to sit here and tell me that you were focused on Soma's lemon curry fish rice recipe just for you to go, oh my goodness, the boobs take away from this. Shut up. When do we start doing this, gang? And a matter of fact, fan service is the point. Y'all not engaged with the high stakes food prep. I mean, sure, there are moments where you're worried about the food, but you're not going to sit here and tell me you clicked on it just because it was like, well, I like the Food Network. Let's put it in anime form. Stop it. High School of the Dead. Y'all wasn't worried about the apocalypse. Y'all wanted to see the craziest Matrix booby physics I've ever seen in my life. Like, y'all can admit it. I understand. Like, y'all don't give a fuck about them zombies. While I'm here, what gets me the most irritated about a lot of people complaining about fan service is there's a lot of dudes I see that will turn their cameras on, and with a straight eye to camera face, they will straight up be like, fan service is terrible, and then post it. I'm looking at it like, sir, you're lying. Sir, you are a liar. You are dishonest. Every time I see a guy make a TikTok reacting unfavorably to seeing fan service in an anime, and I'm not this guy, but I swear to God, I just want to post right under that video, sir, this not going to get you no bitches. This is not going to give you the engagement you want. This is not going to give you the likes that you want. You're just going to have to let this one go. I promise you, y'all doing it for the clicks, because it's easier to say, oh, fan service is bad, than fan service you just don't mind. Or fan service you actually like. Like, there is a reason r/hentai has more people on it than r/actual porn. Like, let's stop playing right now. And then y'all be pandering. You want the likes, you want the engagement. Just say that. Just say that. For y'all to sit here and go, we don't like fan service. Enough. We see through that. And by we, I mean me. I'm really good at looking at content and seeing how honest you were or were not in making that. Like, some of them, I can tell, like, a lot of y'all dudes be hiding, like, misogyny through, like, talking about how your girl's pansexual hiding the pans in your house. Stop that joke, by the way. That's annoying. Yo, it was fun a year ago. Y'all can stop it now. But anyway, I can promise you, it's not going to give you the bitches. It's not going to give you nothing that you want. While I'm here, almost forgot while I'm here. A lot of people complaining about things in anime stems from y'all don't understand the audience that anime is really for. And it's really evident when y'all start talking about fan service the way that y'all do. Because a lot of Japanese studios don't give a fuck about American audiences. Like, they don't make it. Well, some of them do. Some of them make it with the intent to appeal to a Western audience. But most of them don't. Most of them just do what's going to sell in Japan. Because as I said before on this pod, anime doesn't make that much money. It doesn't make a lot of money. Like, having the show doesn't produce the profit. Having the show, having a lot of people watch it so they can get more DVD sales, they can get improved manga sales, and they can sell merch, which includes, but not limited to, statues, figurines, body pillows, officially licensed cosplay outfits. Like, all of that is what makes the show money, not just you clicking on your Crunchyroll and watching it. By the way, I was going to say stop pirating, but I already know that's going to get me killed. or it could make my podcast blow up, but everybody tweeted me, I'm going to pirate anime anyway. Who knows? Either way. So when I say that studios don't care about American audiences, that sentence kind of beat me up. When I say studios don't care about American audiences, they're catering to a very specific demographic, which ain't some grown-ass American. Like, the genre doesn't really care about what y'all want. You know who they do care about? Middle and high school boys and girls. That's their market. And specifically, high school boys will spend the most amount of time and money on manga. So, and follow me for this one. What do high school boys and middle school boys want to see in their anime? Starts with B, rhymes with crests. Somebody's going to click off this episode already. I can already see it. But anyway, so when y'all look at fan service, y'all got to stop getting mad when studios cater to an audience that's not you. Now, yes, it can be annoying and cringe and worthy of just saying, nah, I'm done here and just clicking away. Not going to argue that one with you. But a lot of anime episodes, a lot of anime studios, they're not worried about what you want. And while we're here, y'all got to stop getting mad at shows that cater to an audience that's not you. Stop asking for anime not set in high school. Shonen is literally for high school, middle school boys. That's the name. Shoujo, high school, middle school girls. High school boys like cool fights, cool settings, hella waifus. Like, y'all want complex male characters to be a protagonist. Tanjiro, he's likable. He ain't complex. Deku's likable. He ain't complex. Asta, I don't like Asta. I don't like Asta at all. I don't like his show at all. He's likable. He's not complex. Why? Because every high school boy wants to see themselves in those kinds of characters. Deku is smart, analytical, heart of gold. Tanjiro is strong, heart of gold, strong will. Asta is Asta. And for y'all to want aged up characters like they're in college, there's college anime. There's anime that are set in college. Rent-a-Girlfriend is right there. What y'all really want is just popular anime, popular manga set in an older setting. It's there. You got to find it. Y'all just want somebody to talk about something with you. Stop talking about fan service like it's a bad thing. You look stupid. I'm going to edit that out. That was a terrible segue. But y'all just want more popular anime in college, and y'all want more people to like it. Fan service is not inherently a bad thing. It's to sell more stuff. All right? So y'all cringing when y'all see a beach episode and know that some character is going to get sexualized is annoying. But I'm going to shoot y'all some bail because there are a lot of young characters in anime that should under no circumstances, tough word, be sexualized. So don't take this as some Sun Eater Evan is some lolicon. No, don't come into my comments with that mess. But all right, let's move on. When I was doing the show sheet, usually I finish it like a week in advance for this show. So I have a whole week to kind of rehearse in my head what I'm going to say, and I'm going to transition in and out and stitch the show together. I didn't have time to do that for this one because it was more of a last-minute decision to put this episode together. I had a couple of topics, and I realized this episode is just more of Evan complains about things. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, it's fine. I realized that the past couple episodes have just been more of me talking about things I don't like. But an exception was last week, because me and Toasting pretty much gushed about everything we like. We talked about Spy X Family, Blue Lock. We talked about a lot. All right, so I'm old venting. You know what? So I want to say this next one. It's too long is a very valid reason not to start an anime. If I see another person recommend One Piece to somebody, I might just lose it. I might, because who is rude enough to do that? One Piece, and I crunched the numbers on this one. One Piece takes a staggering, if you just watched it straight through, all 1,000, and what are they on right now? One Piece is over 1,000 episodes. We're just going to go with that. If you were to watch One Piece straight through, no breaks, no sleep, no nothing, that is 16 and a half days. That is over 2 weeks of doing nothing but watching Monkey D. Luffy just go gadget, arm rubber band punch people. That is 396 and a half hours. No. No. And people will just be like, oh, One Piece, it ain't even that long. I'm so tired of hearing people talk about that. Have you heard of the word pacing? My brother in Christ, it is 1,000 episodes. I'm not watching One Piece because it takes over 40 episodes for the show to get good in the first place. Nope. No. That is definitely an ancient product of we're going to have a show go once a week and a manga chapter drop once a week forever until the creator dies or the show just kind of loses popularity. But One Piece we can give an excuse to because One Piece has been running since 98? And it's been number one the entire time. And I think there were only a couple of times Naruto overtook it. I think the first time Naruto overtook One Piece was the first Naruto Sasuke fight. But for the most part, Naruto's been number 2 and Bleach has been number 3. Speaking of Naruto, I love you. You're not exempt from this either. I'm never recommending someone to watch Naruto. The only reason I watch Naruto is because I grew up with that orange-haired, loud-mouthed, annoying guy. You know, little baby Goku with the blonde hair. I see you. But man, Naruto is, and I'm not exaggerating, Naruto is 48% filler. Half of Naruto's, that includes Shippuden, Naruto is 720 episodes. What you mean half those episodes are just a complete waste of your time? And I know, one of my guests in episode 3, Ashley Sushi, she is rolling her eyes right now because she doesn't consider filler to be filler. She considers it adventures. I don't have time for non-canon content. And even then, Naruto is still forever. Naruto is 276 hours. It would take you 11 and a half days. No, I'm not doing it. Stop asking me to watch it. I don't want to hear it. Don't shame me because I don't have time to watch One Piece, bro. I have things to do. Have you heard of the pacing? Oh my God. In Naruto, the pacing is so bad sometimes too, because they will have like a good 2 consecutive minutes of fighting, and then they'll separate, and then they'll have 8 minutes of talking about what just happened. Oh, he did this jutsu while breaking out this jutsu, and his technique is this, and for me to counter that, I'm going to have to do this. Then they'll talk, and they're going to get a whole episode of backstory next week. You, sir, can keep it. Although there is one Naruto filler episode I do like. I do remember seeing the Naruto episode where Kakashi takes his 3 students onto like a farm and they have to do some repair work, which is unbecoming of ninjas, by the way. And they try to take off his mask on the way there. And they keep failing in the most utterly hilarious of ways to take off his mask. We find out what's under his mask in the sequel to Naruto, in Boruto's dad's son, The Adventure. And it's like 500 episodes afterwards, but it was cute. I do remember that episode when I was expecting some crazy stuff in the forest of death to happen. And it was just super cute. That's all. What's under his mask? They were thinking it was blimp lips and tiny mouth and buck teeth. It was great. But no, I'm not watching 1,000 episodes of anything. With that, I could have finished all the Crunchyroll. Yo, you know what I should have done? I should have had a spreadsheet. I should have put together a spreadsheet of all the anime I could watch with 396 hours in place of One Piece. I'm sure I could have watched Naruto. I could have watched all of My Hero, all of Haikyuu, all of Bleach, all of Hunter x Hunter. Hold on. Is it Hunter Hunter or Hunter x Hunter? But then again, that's like me asking, is it Spy Family or Spy X Family? Anyway, stop talking to me like this. I'm going crazy. Oh, man. In other news, I haven't complained some more. I really want to get into anime that is good but boring. First and foremost, yes, this is Evan Complain's show. That might be the title of this. But I want to talk about anime that's good but boring. And before I get into that, I want to talk about my criteria. I watch media, listen to things under the assumption of this. 90% of everything you're ever going to consume as far as media is trash. 90% of video games, garbage. 90% of movies, horrible. 90% of anime, 90% of music, 90% of podcasts, except for mine, are trash. And you should operate knowing that. Like, people think the baseline for anything is just like an average. But no, most things are actually terrible that you will consume. And for anime specifically, that rule is proven to be true. Most shows are just 12 to 24 episodes of just and you leave. And that's not to say anime doesn't have good moments or great moments, or you can't enjoy a bad show. Like, objectively speaking, one of my favorite shows is trashy, terrible Monster Musume. I love it. My homeboy Tony, shouts out to him, he loves High School DxD. I think that show is horrible. He loves it. Enjoy your art. I say with air quotes for the audio-only listeners. But we're going to get into it. So when I say most of anime is trash, I'm going with the idea of I'd rather have a show be bad than boring. And I tell people this all the time. At least a bad show either took a swing and a miss, or it has enough respect for your time to just be bad. Like, I can understand, like, if you're bad because you took some artistic liberties, like trying to be different, you know, like if you're a shonen anime and you just say, hey, I'm tired of this trope. I'm tired of tournament arc. I'm tired of the submissive backseat girl who doesn't do much of anything besides act as a love interest. I'm tired of the emo rival. I'm just going to do something different. If you're bad because of that, I can forgive it. And actually, I'll drop the show thinking that at some point it will get better and pick up. Or if you're just a bad show because, one, you're probably in production hell, that the writing of your show, the animation of your show, the voice acting, everything is just messy and falls apart. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this show just doesn't work, period. They should have took it a different way. Or maybe the studio just said, hey, put something out. You see all these anime in this spring season, we ain't got nothing. Throw out that show. I get it. But when a show is boring, I'm just upset. What boring shows have is just that nugget, that just ability, that something that keeps you watching thinking it's going to turn up good. Like, a lot of shows I watch, they have enough to make a great show out of, but they're just terrible. Like, the main character can be great, show sucks. Like, the world, the other characters, the setting, the magic system, the premise, all of it is there, but they just continually have nothing but ass pull plot contrivances and just outright stupidity. I sound like I'm in a bad mood complaining. I promise you I'm not. Again, I say I would just much rather be bad than boring. A boring show has no respect for my time. A boring show just thinks I'm stupid. A bad show can just be bad for any number of reasons. So we're going to get to it first. The first show that I truly do think might be good, but boring, is Rising of the Shield Hero. Yes, I'm going to capitalize on the fact that season 2 is airing right now. No, I haven't seen it. Click off if you want. Matter of fact, this is a bad podcast. I've told y'all to click off like 4 times. Anyway. So first and foremost, for Rising of the Shield Hero, I want my time back for watching this show. I want my time back. This whole thing was terrible. But terrible in a way where I was just bored through watching all 24 episodes of it. So I was mad bored watching Rising of the Shield Hero. Bored. Because all the things were there to make a great show. Firstly, the sort of realistic video game world / this actual really good fantasy setting was cool. Like objectively, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, it's more real than like a Sword Art Online, but it's not as serious as a Log Horizon was. Because Log Horizon, the world was pretty cool, but all the characters interacted with it a bit more than they did in other shows. So I'm thinking, all right, you're off to a good start. All the way they got the characters into the world. For those who don't know, it's an isekai anime. 4 characters from real world Tokyo across alternate dimensions, actually, which is a really cool thing. Across alternate dimensions of Tokyo, all just kind of fell into this world, and the 4 of them get a weapon, a sword, a spear, a shield, and a bow. They all have this sacred weapon, one of each, and they have to save the fantasy world from 3 waves of the impending apocalypse. I think that was objectively cool to get people from alternate versions of Tokyo. But oh my God, all 4 of those characters are god-awful. Every single one. The sword and bow characters, the side characters, firstly, they're just around and never do anything. And they are like peak useless. I mean, I never thought Sakura was useless, but I can imagine why people say that because she's always around but never does anything. These dudes is useless. They don't hit nothing. They don't defeat nothing. They just exist, spout off exposition, and kind of leave. Spear Guy may be one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen in anime. And I've watched Fire Force. I'm still coming for you next. And the main character of our show, Naofumi, I wanted to like him. But he has less personality than an empty pizza box. That man is so fake, edgy, boring. He's like Diet Sasuke. Matter of fact, Diet Sasuke is too much of a compliment for him because Sai is Diet Sasuke. Yuno from Black Clover is Diet Sasuke. This boy Naofumi is no flavor. That man is that man is not at all interesting enough to carry the show. And boy, oh boy, does he need to carry it. Because this show deals with very adult themes and handles all of them tremendously terribly. They try their hardest to make this show as big of a jumble mess as it is. Like, they're honestly like, how can we fuck the plot up today? Naofumi, and mind you, before I continue, the first episode of this show was good. The first episode had promise. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see where they go with it. Immediately by episode 2, I regretted it. Immediately, I was like, oh, this is ass. What's that one TikTok? Oh, okay. That was ass. Yeah, that's the show. Because Naofumi is accused of he's accused of a act of sexual assault. And the whole kingdom shuns him for it. And the only reason he's not put to death is because he's one of the 4 heroes that is needed to save the world. All right, cool. So that means the whole world is turned against him. And it makes him bitter. I follow you. And because nobody wants to party up with him, apparently in this world, Sexual assault's punishable by death. Slavery's legal. And we're made to believe he's a good guy because he buys a child slave, trains her up as she's an adult, which essentially she's like his daughter, and she's okay with being a slave, and she fights to the death her right to be his slave because he never abuses her. He gives her head pats and compliments. Like, the show takes a theme like that and just throws completely out the window any type of context, any type of nuance, and it's just like, well, he's one of the good ones, guys. The slave girl he gets, Raftalia, even she's just kind of, I guess, like, she's not really, like, she's the bright spot of the show, and that's a problem because she's not much of anything on her own. Philo, a giant bird lolly, she's boring. The action of this show is not very good. Let me take that one back, actually. I can say that more eloquently. The action of this show doesn't really work. The animation is very stiff. It's very boring. Ain't no type of choreography. The animation itself, the colors, all of it, just meh. The show is boring to watch. It's also boring to look at. None of it's very visually interesting. And the whole show is a flat 4 out of 10. And my homeboy Edgar, shout out to him, but fuck him. Look, he's not even on this pod. He just caught a stray. Whatever. Fuck him. He told me to watch it. He said it was going to be great. It's not. It's a flat 4 out of 10. And not even in a, like, at least Fairy Tale, I thought was a flat, like, 6 or 7 out of 10. But that's a compliment to Fairy Tale. The only issue of Fairy Tale is that it doesn't have that moment you can point to and go, oh, that's what Fairy Tale's about. I haven't seen One Piece. I'm not going to, but to my understanding, One Piece has that moment where it just kicks up for you, where it's like snaps, and you're like, that's what this show's about. In Naruto, the Sasuke retrieval arc was that for me, where it goes from a flat good to just great, where, okay, this show is for real. Yes, that happens way deep into the show, but every show needs that moment. Fairy Tail doesn't have that moment. That's why I think Fairy Tail gets so much slander, because the whole thing's just a flat, okay. It doesn't waste your time, but it's not good enough to get hype about. Shield Hero, it's not bad enough to trash for 6 hours like I really want to, but it's not good enough to praise or keep watching like I want to. Like, I really wanted to keep watching Shield Hero. I can't watch Shield Hero. Why? Because Shield Hero's not good. That's my man's, though. Edgar's cool. Next. This is going to get me yelled at. I don't care. I have a podcast and a microphone, which automatically means I'm right. Fire Force is pretty good. It's also pretty boring. I made my way through half the first season, and midway through, I kind of sat down and was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Fire Force is a chore, my guy. Like, I am bored. It was glacier slow pacing. I only like glacier slow pacing in my romance novels or my romance anime. This was glacier slow, which was crazy to me because the animation was fantastic. The animation of everybody's individual fire-based powers, super cool. The animation of our main character just flying through walls, flying up in the ceiling, flying through the whole of Fire Force Tokyo was fantastic. Like, it's visually stunning. I think the animators, or the main animator of, the animation lead for Fire Force, I think that was the same guy that animated the Katsuki Bakugo's fire techniques. I think this sentence is kicking my ass, bro. The lead animation lead for Fire Force was the same guy who did animation lead for the Bakugo versus Deku fight that takes place in the middle of the city, where Bakugo's explosions go crazy. It looks great. So after that sentence was done kicking my ass, I can go back to Fire Force. So the powers are great. The animation's top tier. The whole mystery about the Spontaneous combustion is great. The side characters are great, but God almighty, this show is a chore to have to sit through. I'm at episode 15 and I'm like, bro, tiring. They are lucky. I would have stopped at episode 6 or something, but that show is lucky. The opener, certified banger. The ending, certified banger. Princess Hibana, gorgeous. Maki, that muscle fire girl, gorgeous. Top 5 list of waifus. But man, I'd have dropped this show and not even talked about it because Shinra is as generic anime protagonists get. And he wants to save everybody. And I guess the only thing quirky about him is that he has this smirk when he's in trouble or he gets nervous, which is me. I be smiling all the time. I be getting in hella trouble. But he's not as likable. And I hate the word likable. But he's not as engaging to watch as like Tanjiro is. He's not as fun to watch as Deku is. Because at least Deku's surrounded by a bunch of different people to bounce off of. Like, all the characters in Fire Force have such flat personalities. Shinra doesn't really get a chance to shine at all, or maybe he just can't shine because he's not good. But he's just there. But almighty, this show is like early Dragon Ball Z. And I mean early Dragon Ball Z. I'm talking, think about how long it took the Saiyans to get to Earth. That slow pacing, where it took Goku 40 episodes to get through Snake Way. I ain't forget. Too many nights I came home hoping Goku would go find the Saiyans, and he was on Snake Way again. Remember the Let's Go to Namek saga? Bro, I was thinking, like, I felt like I was in space with how long it was taking me to get there. I didn't do nothing but shit on stuff this week. It's all good, though. I'm going to fix that. Next time, I'll bring some positivity. This episode was just kind of let me just trash things because I can't think of anything else to say. I wasn't able to put research into a topic. Although I am cooking up some YouTube videos. I'm going to go for some more YouTube short form content, and I'm going to move shortly, at which I'll have a nice big place to start recording some sketches. So I'm producing a lot more, I don't want to say engaging because this is engaging. You're having a good time, I can tell. I'm going to produce some more higher end production content going forward. This one, I just was like, you know what, let me just go put an episode out so I don't leave people hanging for like a good month. So before I get up out of here, I have one last thing to talk about. My recommendation of the week. It's a new segment where I'm going to just bring in and talk about a manga or a show and try to sell you on it. I'm going to try to convince you to watch or read it. It'll be like our own little book club. It'll just be me trying to convince you that of the anime I've seen and the manga I've seen, maybe you should like one too. Because trying to keep up with everything coming out every season, that's impossible, gang. Like, it is impossible to keep up with every show, every release that comes out. And just think of how many amazing anime are out there that came out 2, 3, 4, 10 years ago that you just haven't seen. Because, and it hit me when I was talking to my guest last time, Tosin, shouts out to him again, where he mentioned like 9 anime. I ain't seen not one of them. So I think that commenting on anime that we could all share together would be a pretty fun idea. And I thought, why not make it a topic that gives me an extra topic to bring up on the pod when it's just me and I don't have a guest that I have to ask 50 questions to. So for the first recommendation of the week, hope you guys like it. I can't understand what my husband is saying. It is a slice of life anime, and if you don't like those, just skip to the end and rate me 5 stars. But for the cultured anime fans of us, I can't understand what my husband is saying is a all over the place dramatic comedy about 2 characters. It is kind of in the same vein of like a daily life of high school boys and Spy Family kind of comedy. However, it's a lot more over the top. It has a lot more crazier animation gags, it adds a lot of blink and you'll miss it gags, and it's pretty much just peak anime. So it follows 2 characters, Kaoru and Hajime, and they're married, they're adults, they live on their own. Hajime is an otaku. He eats, sleeps, lives, and breathes anime. Kaoru, she's normal. Like, she's as normal as normal gets. She just works an office job. She has friends. She doesn't do too much with her life because she's just normal. She's just kind of having fun being married. While he takes anime super serious, it kind of pokes fun at how serious the anime community can be and how normal people who have no idea what any of this stuff is are just like completely baffled. And the funny part about it is, like, while he's not always the butt of the joke, like, he'll just be going off on something and she's just like living with it. And she just loves him for it. Like, there's one anime, like in the first episode, it talks about their struggles of living together, and she's cleaning the house and she's taking care of the living room, and she finds his hentai all on the floor. And she goes, "Oh my God, all guys really do think about his boobs. If you don't put this away somewhere." And he goes, fine, I already used it. She's like, "What do you mean used? You don't mean read?" And he just has this smirk, and he's like, "No, I don't mean that." They go to the movies in another episode, and it's another anime movie. And she's like, "Well, I thought it was okay." And then he just goes off on a monologue, and he goes, "The voice acting was terrible. The animation was terrible. The art style was terrible. The direction was terrible. The director was bad. I can't wait to get home." And he runs a couple anime forums, and he just can't wait to sprint home and type out how bad this is. And mind you, before I even continue, this show is very fast paced. It's a lot of it's kind of like anime Bob's Burgers. Damn, I stumbled on that point. It's really good. Yeah, it's very fast paced and loud. And the episodes are like 3 to 5 minutes each. Sorry. Try it again. The episodes are fast paced and loud and over the top, and they take 3 to 5 minutes per episode. So this is like honestly a quick afternoon type of show, really. Like, I remember going through the entire season in an afternoon, and barely an hour had passed watching all 12 episodes. It was fantastic. So they work through each other's quirks, not necessarily work through as if the other person is broken. She really like wants him to be a bit more normal, and the show is him trying to tone down his otaku-ness, and he wants her to get more into anime with him, and the show is her more understanding that while she's not going to be an otaku or an anime fan or a super weeb, she can just love that this is the thing that makes him happy, and she's happy to see him being happy. It's fun seeing this average girl who's completely ignorant of the culture be wholesomely married to a guy whose only friends are on the internet. It's 2 seasons. It's a fun way to spend an afternoon. And that's my recommendation of the week. It's on Crunchyroll and VRV. I can understand what my husband is saying. Oh, and the ender is a beautiful karaoke song where they both sing it together as they're both sitting in a tub. Come on now. You can't beat that. We love wholesome things around here. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys this week. Thank you so much for listening. For my audio-only listeners on Spotify, thank you, and I appreciate you. For those listeners on YouTube, appreciate you guys too. I'm going to be back in 2 weeks, hopefully, if I'm not too busy packing and moving. So if you are here on YouTube, all this shit gonna look different. And I can't wait for it. So be sure to rate me, thumbs up or thumbs down if you liked it. Comment what you didn't like about it. I'm always down for listening to how to improve. And give me 5 stars on Spotify because I love Spotify. My Spotify audience is great. I'll be seeing y'all. But until next time, I'm going to play us out of here with the Peggies once more. Thank you guys for listening to the Ecchi and Chill podcast. See you guys next time.